This is your daily market recap for Thursday, March 24th, 2022. Let's go. This is Dan Max at EXP Realty, aka the Trading Agent, and this is my stock, Bitcoin, gold, and silver daily market recaps. Please subscribe if you like what you see. Thank you. This is Dan Max at EXP Realty, aka the Trading Agent, and this is your daily market recap for Thursday, March 24th, 2022. Let's get into it. Of course, we always start in the Discord room. People chatting, dropping ideas, thoughts. If you have any questions about this video, please check out the link in the description below. Join the Discord room, ask your questions. You can tell me an idiot, or you can come on in and just chat. Again, everybody has times where they need help or have questions about particular trades. Trading is not always as simple as you're in, you're out. Anyway, so let's get into it. Bitcoin, it is getting there. It's getting there. Bulls should get excited, but also just be aware 45,000 is the ceiling, you know, relatively. It's the volume at price zone that matters to me. I do like how we're making slightly higher lows. Let's see if we make a higher high, because if we can get over 45,000, I've said this many times, many of times, I don't really think there's many places to stop along the way other than the old all-time highs. Now again, will it do it in a straight line in one day? That would be awesome for the bulls. If it doesn't, don't be surprised. Just be patient. Let's get into it. As we always do, we start on the TLT. Nice action today. You know, was really hoping we'd go lower on Tuesday going into Wednesday, and that didn't happen. Couldn't sell puts. We closed right at, I'm going to move this bracket live because this is now becoming an important price, because look, the area where we're opening is now just as important. So the open and the close here, I would watch, 130 all the way up to almost 130, 150. Those are your make or break zones. At this point, there is not a make or break in the sense that we're in between it. I like the action. I'm still long TLT. We're going to talk about a lot of things today. This is going to be a long video. I did clear out some things and took some profits and moved things around and got trades going. And or might be a little early on some things, but also we sold out of some things that might be a little early as well. It's just part of trading. Like, can't be perfect always. And, when the risk versus reward starts going against you, you got to be thoughtful, mindful. The dollar holding up high and tight. Keep in mind that Russia now is going to allow people to buy natural gas and oil and gold and other currencies. They're trying to get away from the dollar. We'll see how that affects them. Ultimately, it's probably going to be a battle. Let's just say that. It's not a one-day thing. VIX was watching this all day, thinking some things would this would hold. Looks like the 200-day, I think Scott, Eric, you guys were talking about that might be next, and let alone it is a swing point. In blue here, you can see it. I guess I could stretch it all the way over. No, I won't do it. You can just see it. 200-day, 20 area. Might be in play. We talked about in the Discord room, I have some shorts going that not really great. Some are okay. The ones that I sold calls on are okay, but I wouldn't be surprised if, again, we talked about this earlier in the week. Check the records, of the previous daily recaps if you don't believe me. Again, I'm not surprised if SPY hits 455, because we can talk about why. Does it happen? Does it not? You never know. After this kind of action, you don't know, but it's there. Look at this. Here's your blue zone. Here's your 100-day. It all seems very likely. Could it fill these little gaps? I know the gap technically filled, but couldn't you retest it? Is support equal resistance now? Could it act as a tractor beam? Bet your ass. You watch the SPY close. That's why I'm doing I'm trying to do the recap into the close. So at the very last moments, if you're around and can watch, might review just the very close so you can see some little tells sometimes, because the market makers act at the end of the day. They have to square up. They have to do things. QQQ, yep, 0.382 seems more likely now that we're closing over previous high, especially if we do close over it. If you have positions that you're unsure of, need to have stops, tech, whatever. Again, I still think tech is lagging. We'll get into it in general, but it is what it is. You gotta, what's the word? You gotta be smart. You gotta assume things are not always known, and you have to be willing to bow out, take the L, move on, or whatever. IWM, this is one of the reasons why I think this is such a struggle to wrap around potentially not shorting the market. Look at the IWM. It is definitely trailing 1,000%. As the SPY and Qs are making highs, the IWM is lagging. And again, if you've watched videos before, you know how we talk about the IWM tends to lead the market. So if it's leading down and lagging, Is the market going to follow? Keep in mind, end of quarter markups, markdowns, a lot of games being played as you go into the end of the month. The end of the month, if I believe, is next Thursday. Yep, it is. We'll see. We shall see. You should, if you're not familiar with what happens during the end of the month, go check out the the YouTube channel. Go to Trading for Beginners or Beginner Education, Back to Basics, however I name it, and check out the video on the last 3 and the first 3 days of the quarter month. They're very important. At this point, let's get into gold, because on that headline about Russia, you know, it seems to be holding up. And congratulations again, if you're not a member of my, you know, the Discord room, or you're not checking out the Twitter, see if I can just pull that up real quick. You know, we talked about let it load for a second. Gesundheit for someone sneezing at home. We talked about gold, very specifically getting back. Where is it? Getting back over the 20-day. I'll find it at some point. I know what I'm looking for. It's just have we got there yet? Yeah, getting over the 20-day was key. And so, just as it is, look at it's coming into this little like resistance area. If you zoom back, you'll see why it's important. Go in your time machine. It was the support from here, or resistance. It's acting as resistance currently. It doesn't necessarily. Now again, keep that in mind with gold. Now a lot of people probably aren't noticing that level. You saw it here. Maybe first, maybe you already knew that, but just keep in mind, like this area, there's a reason why when it busted here, it busted lower, but we're making higher lows. I tend to think this is bullish, but guess what? I can be wrong. It could turn around here. It could chop around. It's, if you're trying to, again, predict a daily, every daily move, good luck. I just see a monthly breakdown of the downtrend. I see a monster cup and handle for almost for a decade and more. I'm not going to try to predict every move on gold. I'm going to let some things run because I don't need to focus on them. They're not as important as some of the intraday stuff. Silver got over the 20-day, back testing the trend line. And again, people are always like, oh, your charts are so sloppy. Why do you do that? Well, I don't know. I just keep these trend lines as they are. I know they're not perfect, but notice what happened. Notice where the peak was today. 0.618. Also, trend line. Not saying that silver is going to collapse, but it's always in the cards that you're going to have choppiness. And if choppiness happens, you zoom out. And when you zoom out, what do you see on silver? I apologize. I'm going to go to the monthly. I think it's way more obvious. Silver played a game. Popped up, pulled back, held the 20s. We were saying screaming buy. If you bought it down here, congratulations. I know there's a lot of people who have. And now we're breaking the downtrend. Now, does that mean every day is up? I mean, I hate to sound like a broken record, but that's the kind of thinking you have to have. GDXJ, not really excited about the action here. I'd like to see it close over this, but again, keep in mind, we were recommending this in the 20s, in the low 30s. You see the blue zone. You see it. That wasn't just drawn. It was drawn for a reason, and now you're up at the 40 level. Does it need to consolidate, or is it going to break out? You need to know in your mind what you want to do. I personally, breaking the monthly downtrend, I'm going to just hold it. I'm not going to focus on it because there's other things that I think are going to be worth trading more than, say, this stuff. Again, now if you got Nugget and you're concerned, sell out of the money calls. I mean, the premiums on these things are insane. So, I mean, if you want to sell the 80 calls, 90 calls and collect some premium, if you think it's going to chop, that's what I would do. GDXJ, same thing. I mean, every day doesn't make a trend, but it's not exciting to see it get back up towards 50 and kind of back off. AEM, where are you, sir? Where are you, sir? Same kind of thing. It made new highs and is backing off. Not ideal, but we'll see. AG, now this one really was disappointing because, let me zoom the box over. 1450 has been resistance. I mean, we literally hit, what was the exact high? 1447. Backed off. Not ideal if you're a bull. Not ideal, but also high and tight isn't a problem. I mean, it's almost like people forget what bull trends look like in these things because you haven't had them. I mean, you have to go back to almost 2000 and what? Let's go look. The best bull trends, yeah, was not since 2010. This one in 2015, 2016. We're starting them. it looks, I mean, again, if you think this isn't a bull trend, I understand. That's fine. We broke the downtrend on the monthly. It's going to take time. It's going to be a, what's the best way to describe it? It's going to be frustrating for people who expect everyday perfection of up. That's all ended on with that. PAAS. Scott was pointing this one out, like making new highs. Again, backing off. A little bit of a disappointment, but keep in mind, we're holding the 50-month, the 200-month. If you're looking at the trend on the monthly, you see higher lows. This looks like a higher low. At some point, you will see a higher high. What day, what time frame? I can't tell you that. And I just don't want to tell people something that I don't even know. X, this is going to be a second because we're liquidating and taking some covered calls on this guy. Here comes the 200-month. As we tell people, I know it's breaking the monthly. People are going to go, oh, it's month bullish. And I'm like, yes, but you're coming to 200-month. It has gone from 18 to 39, 38. You got to take some profit. I'm a little more concerned about the market short term, hence why I think that could pull back. Again, if I'm completely wrong, that happens. But you know what? When you ride something from the 18s up to the 38 level and you don't take profit, you typically regret it. Now, people go, where are you selling your covered calls? Where you anticipate? Look at the blue zone. It was resistance. It should act as support. Said anywhere between 28 and 30. And this is a phenomenon. Like if you're new to this trading and you see this, watch this. This will blow your mind. Look at how the support resistance zone literally encapsulates. I mean, you can see like it hits there, that black line. It lines up perfectly with the 50% fib, and then the top of the range plays into the 0.382. You cannot make this shit up. This is the algorithm of the market. This is the market computer creating the order. Now, again, doesn't mean it can't go a little higher, but I would tend to believe that when there is a pullback, it's going to be support here. And so that's like the no-brainer. Absolutely buy as much as you can. Do not hesitate with stops, obviously, to buy in that area, because that'll be the best risk reward. SPY hitting on 450 as we get into the close. Squeezing. Man, the allocations of people jumping into the market at the highs. I'm familiar with the squeeze. It doesn't usually end well. VALE, we cleared some out of this as well. Just short term, and I apologize, this is not my trading computer, but this area to me is acting as resistance. We're holding above the old channel. I was thinking we might go up to 22 or 23, but notice what's happened today. The relative performance is VALE screaming to 22 or 23 as the market's rising. No, it's not. Something's wrong here. Little red flag. Notice too, in the last couple of weeks, the down days have had more volume. Again, where's the next buy zone? No brainer. It's going to be back towards like 17 to 10. Like, let's draw the fibs, because we're going to do this live now, because I think people are starting, who've been following long enough, start to realize like, hey, yeah, please draw that, because I want to see. Let's see if the fibs line up with something. 0.382 lines up perfectly with the 200-day, 50-day, this little circle. I think the move might be over short term. Now, again, people might, I could be wrong, but keep in mind, we've been watching this thing and involved in it in the 11 and 12 range, and getting up to 21 is a huge move in the short term. Doesn't necessarily mean it's going to collapse tomorrow. Doesn't mean can't go right back up towards the highs, but this is a lower high potentially, because what I would like to see, pull back, higher low. I want to go right back after the highs and make new highs. I don't want to see this like consolidation at a lower high. That makes me a little nervous, because notice we never really had that. When you had consolidation, it stayed high. When it pulled back, it took out the highs. When it pulled back, it took out the highs. You never really had a ton of sideways action at a lower high. Like this one was high and tight the whole time. We'll see what happens. Again, you're reading the patterns, trying to anticipate what's going to happen. All right, CCJ, and again, I apologize, I don't have this drawn, but it's there. Channel high. We talked about potentially needing to liquidate if you could guide up to 30. Now that you look back at it and I go, yeah, when you look at the monthly, look at the 50% fib, we got close enough. Now, again, taking profit today wasn't the best day. It was obviously yesterday, but still don't think it hurts. I think you're firing in the right zone, because notice as the market's making new high, like the markets are making highs, right? The SPY, QQQ. Notice it's lagging. Like that I don't like to see that. That's not what I want from my leaders. Look what's leading now. It's the shit. Let's get into it. Oh, not yet. Let's get into it in a second. CF, another one that we wanted to buy it, didn't get it. Wanted to retest, but it's holding up. Something just popped across my brain. Let me see if this connects. Yep, I can see that from a mile away. I apologize if someone's like, "Oh, you just drew it on the fly." And it's like, man, you draw lines for 20 years. You can see the angle is pretty good. So this is new. This is new to me. This is on the fly. Is this? Oh crap! Is this the channel high? Keep that in mind. Watch out. These names, these agriculture names, might be a little overcooked. Now again, let's see if these ones connect too. Nope, that's not so much. Yeah, it just is what it is. Let me see. Hold on. Let's see if this one. It's probably not. No. Okay. It is what it is. I don't like to see this kind of hammer at the highs here after this move, because you could see down and then didn't really follow through, but you had a long wick and now you have a longer wick. That is the definition of selling pressure in green candles. Because think about it. So you had a nice gap up. You tried to continue higher, but you closed, mid inside day. You gap up, because remember, this is a gap. You close it right back near like the old high from the 31st. You gap up again and you close back towards the lows. Like, that's selling pressure. Like, don't get that twisted. Like, that is selling pressure. Even though the candle is green, does it mean it's going to fail? You don't know that for sure. But when you zoom out, you go, okay, could it be starting a big bull run? You bet your ass. But it's gone. Keep in mind, this thing was at $6 in 2020. It's up to 70. These moves would consolidate and go. Now you've gone from 34 to 70. So you've done a double. You've done a double in the course of a couple months. Is the risk reward at your favor? Probably better to take a break, let it run, or let it play out. Like, just these kind of moves are not sustainable. It usually leads to, you'll see it, like a bigger move, a pullback. A big move and a pullback. Like, that's, and keep in mind, this is now a steeper move. Is it possible it pulls back? I don't know. Again, the monthly, I like it, but we need a, in my mind, you just don't chase that. You just can't. AMD, so this is where one of my trades currently that is painfully closing at the high of the day, which not surprised, but I do have expectations that this thing could get up to 125 to the, like, potentially. And so selling the 125 calls, I don't really have a problem with it. Again, let me draw out the zone that I'm looking for. If rejection, you can see it probably very clearly there. Let me clear this one out because that's kind of old news. That's, to me, what the upside would be. Now, again, if you're bullish, congratulations. They squeeze the close. Very clear. Squeeze. We'll get into it in a second. I apologize the video is long. There's a lot to talk about. Squeeze the close. Yeah. That's the upside. Now people go, why are you shorting this? And it's like, because it's lagging. It's not leading. It might be leading today. Like, no one's going to argue that. Like, it's definitely, at semiconductors, we're leading today. But compared to, say, like X, VALE, CCJ, all of the materials names, they are nowhere near their 52-week highs. Like, they couldn't even, like, this is not even sniffing close to it. Like, those names are at 52-week highs. This is not. A laggard should lag. And when it pops, we'll see what happens. Let's get into Apple, because, wow, that blew out. Stops. So, the upside, again, somewhere probably where this blue box is. I know people are like, well, Dan, it's breaking the downtrend. I get it. I don't see volume. That's the one thing that would make me a little suspect, like the volume. Last time we broke a downtrend, here's an example. You broke it with volume and you went freaking bonkers. At this point with Apple, count the days. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Typically, odd days, and now why, I don't know, Google this if you want. Odd days typically become pullback days in a trend, like they up 3s, up 5s, up 7s, up 9s, up 11s. This is interesting because tomorrow will be 9. Will they gap it up? Now, I posted this in the Discord room, and again, I apologize this video is long, but you know, people want this stuff. Apple's working on a hardware subscription service for iPhones. How many times have I said buy the rumor, sell the news? So that's the rumor. Oh, but Dan, it didn't sell the news today. Okay. I don't doubt it. You know, my brain just posted on there. I'm about 99.9% sure that somebody's going to call up Kramer, or Kramer's going to do a piece on this tonight. And when it marks up to 175s, don't be surprised that like the market makers are anticipating this being talked about, because what else is there to talk about if there's stalemate or quietness in the war? Apple. Have your stops, know your plan. Again, do not go aggressive. Do not go aggressive picking tops. We talk about that. You know, you sell out of the money calls on the first top. You go with stock only. Do not buy puts. But also, too, if you're buying calls, you are playing with fire. You are absolutely playing with fire, because when's the last time Apple popped almost 20, I guess it's getting close to 20%. Not really. I guess 15% in a straight line like that. On what? On a hardware subscription? Get the heck out of here. I'll end it on that. Just know your stops. There is a short here, but when? That's the question. AMD shorted this one up near 120 this morning. Saw the breakout. We talked about, where is it? Maybe it'll show it on the hourly. Or on the, yeah, you mean you can see it. Like there was a zone here. It broke above it. I thought this would be a bull trap. Hence why I'm getting in here. But again, I didn't short using buying puts and getting stupid. I sold calls at the 125 range, which I'm pretty sure the calls are probably flat. They might even be up, even though the stock is up, because the IV in the market and the VIX came down as the day went on. I mean, the VIX literally closed at the low of the day. So this is what it is, you know. And again, running into the quarter can exacerbate moves. And I'm going to try to speed this up. People are probably pissed that it's this long, but guess what? There's a lot to talk about. There is a short here because this is a laggard. What price? Don't know yet. I mean, I have guesstimates. MicroStrategy, what do we say? It's going to follow Bitcoin. If it holds over this 460, could it get into the 470s? Yeah, 480s. Look at that channel high. It's coming in. Let's see what happens next. I mean, again, if Bitcoin rises, I mean, shorting MicroStrategy seems like a stupid play. Rivian. Oh, I guess no, MicroStrategy. We took Rivian off. 20-day, whatever. Tech's following. It is what it is. I'm not a real fan of it because the post-IPO move is crap. We talked about like this level here was the old low. It hit it yesterday. Today is not strong by any means. It should be taking out that level. It didn't. See what happens. One day doesn't make a trend. But again, if you're a bull, you need to get over 43. It's really that simple. Okay, Tesla. Let's get into this one because there's another like reason to start questioning tech. Let me see if I can pull it up on the. Yep. We hit the 0.618 perfectly yesterday. We backed up high and tight. This should be leading. But notice what's happening up here. You're not. Well, yeah, it went from 750, which we talked about potentially if you wanted to buy a dip. Remember when we were talking about selling in the 1200s of the straight line move? Well, if you got in the 700s range, guess what? Nice trade. I didn't do it, but it makes sense. I mean, I'm not sitting here and going, it's going to go in one direction all the time because we've noticed it. I mean, it's a channel, even though it's sloppy and choppy. Well, you broke out of the channel and you're now at the 0.618. That 0.618 is the retrace of this move down to up. It hit it perfectly and we backed off. Now we have a doji. So keep in mind, tomorrow is very important because when you see a doji, you want to see either the change in the trend or you want to see continuation. It's really that simple. It could be a doji sandwich and continue higher, or it could be doji destruction and pain to follow. That's all you need to know. Good luck. Congratulations, bulls. Congratulations, everybody who trades and wins. Like, that's the goal here. We don't hate on losers. People make mistakes. I make mistakes. Call me a loser. I don't care. It happens. PENN, we talked about this possibly holding up for March Madness. I wish it looked better. That's all I could say. It should be going, but it's not. UTHR, talked about this chopping. Nice, again, 155, 186, pulling back. That's okay. Now watch. See what happens. If you get the 20-day, set an alarm. Scream at somebody, something happens. EXPI, Not too concerned about it. The lower it goes, the more I like it in the sense of this monthly support holds. That's all. Like if you hold the 21, 22 level, I think it's a great trade. I think it has upside to at least make 50 to 100% easily based on what I know these guys are up to. XOP and ExxonMobil oil was pulling back today. This made a new higher high. Check out, we're going after the 100-week. We're in the circle of potential pain, as I call it. Notice the volume is dying. That is a markup. That is a sign of a markup, but it is making higher highs. Like the market maker's marking this up, but there's not a lot of buyers other than retail pushing up. They're not leveraging the sell buttons yet. ExxonMobil said this yesterday. I did not like this hammer. You have another doji. This is a little concerning because, again, keep in mind, we've come from 30 up to 65, 51 up to 92, 91. Like this is overbought. And now again, you can use RSI, MACD, all these bullshit to turn over, but no, it hit like a resistance zone. See here, hold on, let me see if this helps a lot. Sorry I didn't talk like this, but keep an eye on it. Like this is the volume at price zone. You blew through it, and now what happens? Somebody was like, people are selling up here. Like people who got back to even though it went above it, is selling. Let's see what happens. Again, I apologize for the long videos. Hopes this helps. If you're still here, again, let's see the close on the SPY. I mean, look at this stuff, man. They're just squeezing heads. We closed right above the high. Not be surprised to hit 453 to 455. Let's see if we can see the 10-minute, because sometimes the 10-minute will show you some interesting close stuff. It should show a squeeze. Yeah, there's your squeeze right into the close. I mean, look at the volume all day. And then squeezed. Market makers pressing the action up. Keep in mind, people who are underperforming, shorting the market right now, going into the end of the quarter, do not want their clients to see that they're shorting the market. So they're buying the SPYs. And again, if you've ever managed money and you had to manipulate your accounts using the end of the quarter so that you're worried about statements coming to your clients, that's what people do. That never ends. Anyway, talk to you later. Stop by Discord room. Come make fun of me for Apple and AMD shorts not working. I don't care. We'll talk about it. Cheers. Thanks for watching. For more trading knowledge and insight, click on the videos on the right, and also join the Discord room. Link is in the description below. If you have any questions, please stop on by the Discord room and let's chat. Thank you.